is your Classic Metal Show right here on theclassicmetalshow.com. That's brand new music from an artist many of you may not be aware of. That is Madame Mayhem with a tune called Left for Dead. And certainly not Left for Dead is the young lady I've got on the phone right now. Of course, it is Madame Mayhem. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Excellent. Well, I gotta say, and I'll be honest, before your publicist gave me your record, I'd never heard of you or your music. So I am as newbie as they come to this, and I'm sure our fans probably are as well. So maybe that's a good place to start. Maybe if you were to kind of give us a little bit of background on who you are and how you came to become an artist and putting out this record.
Sure. Well, I'm Madame Mayhem, and I've been performing my entire life, and I've always been a huge metalhead and hard rock lover, and when it came time to really figure out what I wanted to do with my life at a very young age, I knew right away that it was this. So I've been doing this for a while, and I've been lucky enough along the way to have some really great mentors, and people like Billy Sheehan, who produced this new album with me. He wrote a bunch of songs on here as well with me, and we were able to put this together with a lot of great hard-hitting acts, and here I am.
Very cool. Now you brought it up, so I have to ask, there are a million other bands out there that have had various levels of success that would love to have Billy Sheehan produce their records and would love to have a lot of the people that you've had on your record or that you've worked with, working with them. So how does an unknown of sorts work her way into knowing all these people and getting them to work with you, or I'm going to assume getting them to believe in the project that you're putting together enough to work with you?
Well, I've been very fortunate that people like Billy Sheehan really believe in me and my voice, and, was really willing to take a chance on me. And then, reaching out to some of the other people like Ray Lugier and Bumblefoot and Russ Parrish, and then Corey Lowry also co-wrote a lot of the songs with me, listen to this music. Do you like it? Is this something you'd be interested in? And luckily, they were digging it, and they're all friends of Billy's. So, you just got to keep hustling. For me, I've been working on this for a really long time in my music and my craft and my songwriting, and then, you work hard enough, and someone will find you.
Sure, definitely. Well, let's talk about the record a little bit, called Now You Know. It's a very cool record, and I'll share from my own personal self. I am a big time sucker for female vocals on harder music. Definitely not a Taylor Swift type, but certainly Hailstorm or Veronica Freeman or Lacuna Coil or any of those bands grab me very quickly. And your record certainly falls into that realm, although I don't think I'm going to guess that you get a million comparisons to Hailstorm, and I'm going to say right off the bat, I don't think any of that would be fair, because that's just saying, okay, well, it's chick singer, therefore they're the same. Where I think you have a different rock sensibility than maybe Lizzie Hale does. Is that fair?
I mean, she's amazing, first of all. So kudos to everything that they're doing.
Sure.
But I think that I'm very different than a lot of artists. Different approaches, different vocal styles, and it's still hard rock chicks,
Right.
Singing their butts off. So either way, it's still pretty cool.
Is it frustrating that you'll get lumped immediately into good for a chick singer versus good for a singer?
It depends. I mean, there's good things and bad things that come with, the stereotype of being a chick front woman in a hard rock band, but
Sure.
Whatever it is, and as long as people dig it, people can say whatever they want, and as long as they're listening to it and they like what I'm doing, I don't really care how they compare it.
Very cool. Now listening to the record, it definitely goes through a lot of different emotions, and it feels like, to outsider looking in, like it's a very personal, emotional record, and not just kind of thoughts that you morphed into songs. Is that the case, or did you kind of just have ideas and develop them?
Well, I really wanted this record to be pieces of me, things I've experienced, and I really just wanted to, tell truths, and I was going through a lot of stuff, frustrations in the industry, things in my personal life, and I really wanted to share these things in music form, because I can't be the only one who's dealing with a lot of these issues, and so someone else might be able to relate. And any of these songs, I know for me, music is a big way, to, feel better, or, you have an angry song that you listen to, or something when you wake up in the morning to get you pumped up. And for me, it's always the songs of truth that touch me the most. So I wanted to make a record like that. And I was lucky enough with Billy and with Corey Lowry, while co-writing with both of them, they really allowed me to feel safe in an environment where I could just, spill my guts out, and then we were able to put it to some really kick-ass music, and there you go. There's a song.
Right, definitely. Now, I am not a musician in any way, shape, or form, but I do write some books. I've written a few books at this point, and I know for me, when I'm done writing a chapter, I'm really, really done writing a chapter. I'm just like, I don't want to read it anymore. I don't want to think about it anymore. I'm done with it. Are you like that, or do you feel more of a closeness to each individual song, to where you want to kind of remember that thought point that led you to write that song?
Definitely. I mean, I'll listen through a bunch of times, because the same, like, therapy, as you may say, that I felt when writing the songs, I still feel the same way when I revisit them and listen to it. And, just being able to reevaluate what you've been through, and then how you put together a song and your vocal patterns and things like that. I also do it in a, studying form as well.
Sure. Do you have songs that are difficult to play because and again, I'm reaching again to me. It's one of the reasons I don't go back and read my own stuff, is because I'll go back and read. I'll be like, oh, I really don't want to feel that way anymore.
Right.
Do you have some of that to where, you be on stage necessarily, and it's one of the songs that, people want to hear, but you personally are like, I don't know. I don't want to go there.
Well, I mean, if it is a song like that and I'm singing it, you'll see the emotion. I'll either start crying or really make it a full experience, because that's how it came out, so that's how it's going to come out every time, whether it's a difficult song to relive or not. What's also really important is making sure that it sounds really good, even if you're not loving the situation that the story came from of that song. But I'm fortunate enough that I love all the songs that we came out with, even though a bunch of them came out of, dark situations that I was trying to overcome. And it kind of actually gives me a sense of empowerment when I get to sing those aloud and revisit those situations and coming out on top,
Sure.
It actually feels good.
Very cool. Now, obviously, as we said, you've worked with a lot of people. So is there a band like that you play out with, or are you still putting it together?
These guys on this record are a little busy at the moment,
right.
So they're not playing with me.
Right.
But I have a group of guys that are really great and are at obviously that same level of expertise, because there's nothing less is allowed than sounding exactly the same, if not better and different than the album. So I have some great guys in my band, and playing with me for these runs right now is actually going to be Virus, who was in Device and Dope, and so we have some pretty cool heavy hitters that are going to be playing with me live as well, which will be fun.
Sure.
But mostly they're just incredible musicians, and that's all I really care about, just having guys that can really play.
Sure. Now you mentioned some show dates. What are your plans, once the record is out there and people can start picking it up and whatnot? What are your plans going forward? Are you planning to try and tour? Are you going to try and pick up on on a package? Obviously, you have a lot of friends that you might be able to call to get on a package. So.
Well, we're definitely trying to figure out touring, because that's where I'm the happiest, is on stage and playing live. Record studios and writing, it's all really important to me, but the most important thing to me is performing. So everyone on my team wants to get me out there so I can stop making them nuts. But what we're going to do is plan the tour now, and we'll have those announcements soon. And in the meantime, for the album release, which is October 16th, I'll be in New Jersey doing an acoustic and album signing at Vintage Vinyl, which is a great store in Ford's, New Jersey. And then I'll be headlining at Dingbats on October 17th with a bunch of cool bands, some guys I've known for a while, and it'll be a good time. And then we'll just take off from there.
Sure. Definitely. Well, as we said, the name of the record is Now You Know. It is Madame Mayhem. And before I let you go, I have to ask you what's known as the traditional classic metal show question. We ask this to everybody. It has nothing to do with you, but you might have an answer. You might not. Okay. How has Lemmy from Motorhead influenced your career?
I mean, Lemmy's awesome. That's a great question. I mean, I love Motorhead, so in that sense, he's really influenced it. And I mean, he's just such an icon that it's something that I aspire, to be as a recognizable act that people respect and people, that people can be digging even now. So I mean, incredible.
Absolutely. Well, the new record, as we said, Now You Know. Where can people go online to find out more about the record, or to pick it up, or to find out more about you or the band? Or
yes, well, things? You can check it out on the official website, which is MadameMayhem.com. That's Madam with an E at the end. All the social medias, Facebook, which is Madame Mayhem, Twitter, Mayhem Official. Check out the music video that's out now for the single Monster on YouTube. It's pretty cool and a lot of fun. And stay tuned. Also, there is already a pre-order link on Amazon.com, so you can get on that and grab your record and pick it up ahead of time.
Excellent. Well, as a tradition on the show, we always let the artist pick a closing track from the record and maybe tell us a story about it. So what would you like us to wrap this interview up with?
Let's do Monster. Why not? Monster is a single off the record, and it's near and dear to my heart. It's a great introduction to kind of explain who I am as an artist and as a person. And I wrote it with Corey Lowry. It's the first time we had ever written together. It was one of 3 songs that we wrote in the span of 2 days, and it came out pretty awesome. And I hope everyone likes it, because I really just wanted to share how, important it is that no matter what kind of a box people put you in or whatever you're dealing with, you can always come out on top as long as you're being yourself, no matter how nuts it is.
Excellent. Well, let's check it out right now. This is Madame Mayhem from the new release, which is called Now You Know. This is Monster right here on your Classic Metal Show.